The design and build of our circuit is an incredibly large and complex process. We construct, I think it's 45 or 46,000 grandstand seats. Hospitality to accommodate 20,000 people. Operationally, it's a big exercise. It takes a lot of work.
So to complement all the work that Lani and the brand team have done on bringing our precincts to life, event fundamentals really underpin everything that we do at the venue. This is what fans expect as a minimum when they come to a major event.
We had a record crowd, 452,000 people came through the gates over the 4 days.
So these are the ones we absolutely can't get wrong. People need to have safety and security, toilets, shade and shelter, and cleanliness and hygiene. And we know from experience in recent years, when we get this wrong, the rest of the experience is really damaged. So we are putting a lot of effort and time into making sure we get these right.
As we know, we had, I think, 132,000 people in the circuit. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's a lot of people in one space. Within that, we need to understand how the crowd flows work.
So everything from getting in and out of the venue and what the venue operations team does to get people into and out of the venue safely. What happens when they're in the venue and the patron flow, making sure people can move around swiftly and easily and they can get to where they need to get to and do the things they want to experience.
That's what gate they enter, what gate they exit. The addition of a new pontoon across the lake, which will double the capacity in terms of people crossing the lake, and a new overpass. Because they tend to be the blockage areas where fan experiences are impacted. So we've actually invested some extra money and effort into making sure that we unblock some of those areas.
As our event has grown, we've noticed an impact on our customer and fan experience with the amount of vehicles we have on circuit. So there's been a big emphasis on the safety of our patrons and our staff moving around our venue. And because of that, we've developed a 3-year vehicle reduction strategy. And so we went through and reviewed all of our CCTV footage at key crossing areas and pinch points and had a look at how vehicles are travelling around our venue. And part of that is developing ways in which we can reduce the amount of vehicle movement that we have on site when our patrons are on site. Across the 3 years, we want to look to reduce. We want to implement some strategies in terms of how people are traversing around our venue. We want to reassess what our road network looks like within the venue, as well as having some management within our traffic and transport centre that has a real focus on internal vehicle movements during our event.
And then the last part of it for us is elevated essentials. So making sure that we've got connectivity and data right to enable our operation and making sure that people can make payments when they get their beer or their food, and that's all running smoothly. It's one of those things that when it goes right, we don't complain, but when it goes wrong, everyone's complaining.
Danny, for this, what data do you have available and how do you, measure the success of these each year?
Well, we've got a lot of insights in terms of what we hear from customers. We have it at the event, live data coming in, we've got all of our post-event patron research, and then we're going to just look at all of that and how that compares year on year. Formula One hold us to account on a lot of this stuff, and making sure that we are at the top of our game in terms of what the global scores are and that we are at the top of that.
There is also consideration about reintroducing the post-race track walk, which is an unbelievable feature of our race, but it also helps operationally because it just spreads out the egress.
What we saw a lot of in Monza, obviously the ideal is what they were able to do in Brazil, which is 45 degrees in line with the funnel. The thing that we saw in Monza was a lot of people got backpacks.
So for 2025 though, in order for us to bring that back and do so safely, we've made a really big investment in installing 9 of these new track barrier walk gates. These will be the track entry points and the dedicated track entry points for patrons to be able to participate in the track walk in 2025. And what we've done here is we've had to liaise with the likes of Formula One, the FIA, in making sure these are to track standards, but essentially these will be big barrier openings that will allow patrons on the track in key identified areas so they can celebrate in the podium celebrations.
It's incredible that for a country this size, we had 2 drivers on the grid. Now we have an opportunity, I think, and there's a hope that Oscar might make it onto the podium. And have a Melbourne boy just adds to the build-up. It's the first race, we've got Hamilton, Ferrari. We still say it's Jack Dillon's debut. I know I had sort of allowed myself to sort of stop for a moment and imagine what it'd be like if Oscar was standing up on one of those steps and how the crowd would respond, and no doubt what it would mean to him and his family. So look, that'd be the cherry on top. Our job is to get the rest of it right, and then that bit's his.